What's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to make your kick drum knock by using the Waves Smack Attack. First, let's talk about the controls and then I'll show you how to use the Waves Smack Attack. First control, as you see, is the attack button, and what this does, this either raises or lowers the volume of the transient. You turn it to the right, you raise the volume of the transient. You turn it to the left, you pretty much squash the volume of the transient. To the right, you have your sensitivity knobs, and this is the threshold for both the attack and sustain knobs. To the right, you have the sustain knob, and this sets the gain of the sustain processing. What this does is this controls the volume of everything that you hear after the transient. You turn it to the right, you hear more volume of everything that comes after the transient. You turn it to the left and you squash the volume of everything that comes after the transient. For instance, if you had a kick drum that had a lot of reverb on it, maybe you didn't want the reverb, what you would do, you would turn it to the left and that would eliminate any reverb sound left in the kick. But hey, if you wanted to heighten the sound of the reverb that was in that kick, then you would turn it to the right and that would raise the volume of anything behind the transient. These three filter looking buttons under the attack, these are your attack shapes. So with the first one, all you're really getting is a piece of the transient when it first hits. If you go to the second one, it gets the transient when it first hits and a little bit more. And if you go use a third one, it actually kind of softens the transient, but it gives the transient a lot more body and makes it more full. Under that, we have the attack duration. And if you slide it to the left, it makes the kick drum a little bit more spiky. Nice little punch. If you slide it to the right, it makes the kick drum more warmer. For the sustain, you have three shape filters, and the duration sets the length of the sustain. Under that, you have the output. To the left, you have your dry wet mix knob. To the right, you have your gain reduction. I never really used that. I just use the output instead of using gain reduction. And to the right, you have the guard, and what that is a limiter or a soft clipper, or you can just turn it off altogether. So I'll play this kick and I'll turn the smack attack off, and then I'll turn it on, and then I'll move some buttons around, press some knobs, and let you guys hear this in action and show you how to make your kicks thump. Here we go. This is with it off. This is with it on. So you can see when I turned it on, instantly it cleaned the kick up. It started to punch a little bit more because all you were getting was just the transient coming through. And I had the first attack shape selected. So all you get is that initial transient that punches through. I'll now go through all three of the filters and play it and let you hear how each one sounds. Next transient. Makes it just a little bit more fuller. Next one. I like this last one for my kicks. I either use the second one or I use the third one. If I want it to be, if I want my kick to have a little bit more body to it, I use this last one. If I want it to be just punchy, then I'll use the second one. I never really use the first attack shaper. And now I'll move the duration slider from left to right and go from a spiky kick to a more warmer kick. Here we go. To the right. That's extreme. So I tend to keep the duration like around the middle, maybe to the right a little bit, but usually I have my kick with this filter and a duration right in the middle. Now let's try to sustain. Matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll put some reverb on this, and I'm over exaggerating it with the reverb because I want you guys to hear what the sustain knob does. And if I turn it to the left, I'll reduce the reverb. If I turn it to the right, then I'll enhance the reverb. So here we go. Let's reduce it. So it's punchy. So it's punchy. Still get your reverb. And now we'll try the different filter shapes so you can get an idea of what they do. Now I'll slide the duration out for the sustain. And you hear how those kick drums just knock, just punch through. If I had a full mix, these kicks would just punch through the mix. I never use the gain reduction because I just use the output. So I keep my output at minus to make sure it's not going in too hot into the germanium compressor. And here's a trick that I like to do. I like to raise my attack up, bring my sustain down, and then leave my dry wet mix around 50 or 60. So I'll do that real quick, let you hear it. Turn it off. That's the original kick. Now with the smack attack on, instant punch. So that's how you use the Wave Smack Attack. The way that you read this is that the orange line shows you how the smack attack is reacting. So I'll play this kick again and notice as I move these shape filters around, notice how the orange line reacts to the kick drum. So we'll start with this first filter. Moving to the second one. And then if I turn my attack down, now that shows the volume going down on your transient. So when I turn the attack down, you saw the orange dipping under the line, and that was the volume of the transient going down. If I turn the attack up, you see the orange going up, and as I use different filters, you saw how much of the kick drum was actually being processed. Let's do it one more time. A little bit more. sustain. Everything after the transient. All volume after the transient is down. So yeah, that's the Wave Smack Attack. That's how you use it. Those are the controls. It's very easy. A great tool to get those kicks to punch through the mix. If this tutorial helped you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, I'm out.